Hello YouTubers, today we're going to be doing something different in our videos. We're starting part 1 of our trip to Belize that we took this December. After arriving in Belize City, we got on to Belize Air, which is, for better saying, a puddle jumper, which is about a half-hour flight from Belize City to San Pedro. If you'd rather not take the short flight from Belize City to San Pedro, there is a water taxi that's available as well. The water taxi usually takes approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours at the longest to get from Belize City to San Pedro. But it's a relaxing ride, and we did take it when we went back to Belize City to do another tour. By taking a small charter flight from Belize City to Caye, we got to see a nice view of the landscape, the other islands, as well as the water below. The Caribbean, which is the body of water which we're flying over, was just crystal clear. And at the elevation that we were flying at, which was 2,500 feet, at about 150 knots, there wasn't much that you could miss by looking outside and looking down at the water itself. You could see a lot of the growth or the reefs and actually just the water, the bottom of the ocean there. Overall, the flight was very pleasant. As I said, it only takes probably about 20 minutes to a half an hour. It's a very comfortable ride, very spacious, very smooth, and the landings, I'd say, were even better than it was when we landed via Delta in the 737s.
Air Force fighter jet kind of planes and land them right here on San Pedro.
Right after we landed in San Pedro, Kathy picked us up in her Kawasaki Mule, and she also had a rented golf cart for us to use while we were there, since there were 6 of us.
I don't want to bring everybody out here.
From the airport in San Pedro, it's approximately about a 20-minute ride to go from San Pedro to her compound where her house is at, which is about 4.5 miles south of the city
I didn't realize
limits.
I was going to church and I was there for 2 hours and it was so hot. It sucked.
During the time I was there, I was often joking how I felt like I was going back in time to 1972, which was the period I was over in Southeast Asia during the last tour in Vietnam. Our aircraft were located in Thailand, and the whole city and the surroundings of San Pedro is so much like the towns and the cities and the infrastructure of Thailand. It's so close, it was like being back in time. Even the smells, the small shops, the environment, the temperature, the weather, it was all just very much the same. The biggest difference is that instead of golf carts, which they have in San Pedro, it's all bot buses, which they have in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I would have been up a creek if I would have
On
went for a longer
Ambergris
water
Caye,
taxi lesson.
basically the ratio of golf carts to cars or automobiles is about 10 to 1, being 10 golf carts for every automobile. Gas, by the way, is approximately $10 a gallon Belizean or $5 a gallon US, which kind of explains why everybody runs around in golf carts, which are much more fuel efficient. There's a lot of shops around, restaurants, open air restaurants. Probably on just about every other corner, there's a rental location for golf carts, which usually run about $40 a day. We're actually coming up on a little outdoor restaurant where there's a lot of students from the Belize school, and they happen to have just gotten out for the Christmas break. All the students are in uniforms, either blue and white, or many of them are in just plain white outfits. Many of the students, if they're fortunate, they can go to school right there on the island of Ambergris Caye. If they can't get into the school on the Caye, then what they have to do is take the shuttle water taxi across to Belize City, where they have to go to school there, which means that they're going to be in the water on a taxi for about an hour, hour and a half each way.
All the parents, everybody has lunch hour together. So all the kids leave and go see their parents.
This particular day that we were driving through San Pedro, it was very busy, very hot, and so it's not a good time to be driving through there if you can avoid it. One of the things about San Pedro is that it's growing so fast with all the new construction. Even with Marriott coming in there in the very near future, the infrastructure can't keep up with the growth. Not sure if I already mentioned it or not, but you can rent a golf cart at $40 a day. So, and I believe that's American. Otherwise, it would be $80 a day, believe me. Forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but again, gas prices are about $10 per gallon Belizean or $5 a gallon US. Uh, and obviously, for every dollar American, it's $2 or double for Belizean. Between amount of traffic and the conditions of the road and the speed bumps, it turns into a pretty wild ride or a roller coaster ride. Some of these pictures are taken from the rooftop of Kathy's house, which is similar to the very first one that you just saw here in this selection of shots. Because they don't have pumped water lines or water service from the city, and they don't have water wells that they can pump from, all the water is received from the rain, which comes off the roof and goes into cisterns, which are in the bottom of each home, and from there it's pumped up to the individual house. Kathy's house, as well as the house next door, both had rooftop swimming pools and deck areas, which made it real nice to relax on. However, it cuts down as far as the amount of rainwater you can get. So she usually does pretty well as far as collecting rainwater for herself or for a couple other people who will stay there. But when there's as many as six of us there, we had to kind of conserve our water, pretty much like RVers do, or the old Navy shower where you rinse yourself off, so lather up, and then rinse yourself off again. There's also a community pool which is available for everybody within that specific compound. And next to the pool, as you can see, there's even a bar there that you man yourself. You bring down your cool beverages, and then you can mix them up yourself and just sit there and at tiki bar and just enjoy it. Sights were fantastic. I tried to get some good pictures of some of the colors and some of the suns, the seascapes and the grounds, which is full of color, full of vegetation, and a lot of birds. The pool, by the way, was all filled with salt water, and the temperature usually ran right around 80 to 82 degrees, so it was very refreshing. The beach grounds, or that grounds up next to the water, was very well manicured, as well as the rest of the entire compound. Sand went right up to the seawall. Hardly ever see any kind of waves coming in because the reef runs right in front of it, and so that breaks down the waves, and so it's just calm seas pretty much most of the time. Also, around the grounds, each specific area does have a dock where they can moor their boat and raise it up again, up above the water. The sunsets and the sunrises were fantastic. I don't have to tell you that they're very breathtaking just to look at every evening and every morning. We actually got up early just to see them, watch the sunrise, and then we made a point to usually be on the rooftop to watch the sunset. I hope you enjoyed part one of our Belize trip, where we stayed on Ambergris Caye. Part two would be our private fishing trip as well as our snorkeling excursion out on the reef. I hope you enjoyed these first few pictures of our trip to Ambergris Caye, and if you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And most of all, thanks for watching.